Hi, my name is Izzey from Royalton Music Center. Congratulations! We are so excited that you are joining orchestra this year. Making music is amazing! When you open your violin or viola case, this is what you'll see. Let's talk about how to take care of your new string instrument. This information will be relevant for the violin and the viola, so if you're playing one of those instruments, keep listening. When you got your violin or viola at Royalton Music Center, you should have received some important care supplies to go with it. The first one is this green piece of paper. This goes over everything you need to keep your instrument in great playing condition. You should have also received this pack of care supplies. I will show you how to use everything in that kit. So the first thing you do when you get ready to play, whether you're at home or you're at school, is to wash your hands. Since you're touching your instrument and using your fingers to play, you want to make sure that they're nice and clean. First, let's talk about the bow. The hair from the bow comes from the tail of a horse, or as some people call it, horsehair. It's very important to remember that horsehair is a lot like our hair. If we touch our hair a lot, it gets dirty. The same thing is going for the bow hair. So you do not want to touch this hair. If you do too much, then it will get greasy and then you won't be able to use it to play. To make sure that our bow hair is sticking to our violin or viola strings, you want to use what we call rosin. Rosin is just made of hardened tree sap, and we use it to coat the hairs of the bow so that we're able to get a nice clear sound on our instrument. So you'll just rub it up and down a few times until you see white dust covering your bow hair. Once you're done, make sure you put your rosin back in its little case. Rosin is very fragile, and if you drop it a certain way, it can break, and then you need a new one. So just keep it safe. When we're getting ready to play, we take this little screw down at the bottom, and we're going to turn it a few times to the right, just enough to make the bow hair tight. Now we don't want to tighten the hair as tight as it can physically go, because then we won't get as nice of a sound. So just enough to kind of eyeball fit your pinky through the middle, or a pencil. Once our bow is ready, let's get our violin or viola out. Your strings will be tuned by your teacher until they teach you how to, so you don't have to worry about changing how your strings sound. Even if they sound a little off, your teacher will take care of it for you. So once you're ready and you're all tuned up in class, you'll be able to practice and play and sound amazing. Once orchestra is done, or your practice session is done, you'll set your violin or your viola back in its case just like this. And then it's very important to loosen your bow hair. So instead of turning it to the right to make it tight, think lefty-loosey. And again, we don't want to turn the bow hair all the way loose, just enough so that you see these little hairs wiggling. You'll put it safely back in the case and lock it up at the top so that when you close your case, nothing is falling out. Whenever you're done playing, you can take your polishing cloth and just wipe off your strings if you got any rosin on there, and also the body of your instrument. You can get any fingerprints or makeup off of your instrument. Now, you have one more thing in your care kit. It looks like this. It's a green rubbery thing. This is called a humidifier, and inside of your humidifier you'll see a tiny yellow sponge. It's important to get this wet and keep it wet all year round. Since we live in Ohio, or at least most of us do, we know that the weather is constantly going back and forth from hot to cold, dry to humid, so we always want to keep our humidifier inside of our case. So, whenever you notice that your sponge is dry, you can just run it under a sink or a drinking fountain and get it wet all the way, and then wring it out so that it's not dripping. Now, some of the bigger violins and violas, the humidifier will actually fit right inside of the holes. But if you've got a tinier one, you can simply tie the humidifier in a knot and keep it right next to your instrument in the case like this. Now let's hear how the violin and the viola sound. You will play your violin by holding it under your chin like this and either plucking your strings with your finger or using your bow. To play your viola, you will hold it up and you can either use your finger to pluck the strings or you can use your bow like this. Wow, that's a lot of information. Not to worry though, you can always watch this video again if you ever need a review on how to care for your instrument. If you have questions that were not answered in this video, come on in. Anybody at Royalton Music Center would be very happy to help you. Have a great day and happy music making!